Next on Worcester News Tonight, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump face-to-face tonight in the first presidential debate. Plus, a man serving house arrest, but not in his home. We'll explain why. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Andy Madison. The first highly anticipated presidential debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton taking center stage tonight, a debate which could be one of the most viewed in history. All eyes on the two candidates tonight who are at Hofstra University in New York for the debate. Here in Worcester, radio hosts Jordan Levy and Jim Polito hosted a live pre-debate show and watch party at Union Station. Those we spoke with who attended say they're interested to see how the candidates act in tonight's debate.
There's no cat fighting or dog fighting or mudslinging. We want to hear the issues. We want to hear the plans on both sides. And we hope that they're very, mature about it and professional about it.
Some media pundits expecting that this debate, the ratings for this debate, could be on par with the Super Bowl. A presidential debate's a significant part of the presidential campaign, and in some cases have had a big impact on deciding key races. There's been a lot of talk about how the two candidates are preparing for the debate and how much prior debate experience could impact what happens tonight. One political expert we spoke with said tonight's debate very timely and could also play an important role given how close the candidates are in recent polls.
Poll numbers are so close that one's performance either way could really make a difference, at least a shift in the polls, which then could give one candidate more momentum going into November.
Again, tonight's debate, the first between Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton and Republican candidate Donald Trump. Well, here in Worcester, the new police chief participating in tonight's NAACP meeting as he continues to meet with community members. Chief Steve Sargent was invited to attend the meeting to share his vision on how he plans to keep Worcester safe. Community activists and other members spoke with the chief about safety concerns throughout the city. The NAACP hopes this is the first of many meetings with the police to form a strong partnership.
Term process in the city, and this is just one meeting. So I'm hoping what will come out of this meeting is ways that the community can stay involved in trying to give the police chief input on their concerns in their individual neighborhoods. So we're hoping that people from different neighborhoods will come and let the chief know what's happening. Over the credentials.
The NAACP has spoken out in favor of police adding body cameras and increasing diversity in the police department. A Millbury man being forced to serve his house arrest inside a van parked on his driveway. He isn't able to stay in his home because it's been condemned. Rosalind Flaherty has a look at this unusual scenario.
Just looking at my house, knowing it's all boarded up, not being able to get in it.
Christopher Bernard, who was serving time in the Worcester County House of Correction, was released on house arrest. He's now forced to live in a van parked in his driveway.
It's better than living in jail.
Bernard's house was condemned and boarded up while he was in custody on a probation warrant. Millbury town manager Bernard Plant says they got a complaint about animals at the house.
Our police department went down and they found a deplorable situation.
According to court documents, the rear deck of the house was covered with dog feces. The dog's fur was infested with parasites and the animal had tumors. Also, according to the documents, the inside of the residence had bags of trash, dog feces, and urine on the floor.
They got the Board of Health involved, and the Board of Health had the right to go in.
The town manager says Bernard has an order saying he can stay in his van.
The police went down when they found out he was there because they weren't going to let him stay in the van in the yard, and found out he had a court order from the court saying he can stay there, so there's nothing we can do about that.
Bernard says he can leave the property from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. He has to go to his brother's house to shower. He says his house has been sold, but the town manager says if the house is sold, he wants to make sure everything has been paid for.
Cost is, getting higher and higher. There's back taxes on the property. I know the utilities haven't been paid, and we spent money down there boarding it up and everything.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
County officials investigating after a 5-year-old boy was killed Sunday in Grafton in what authorities are calling a tragic accident. According to the Worcester County District Attorney, the 5-year-old was hit by a car around 4 o'clock Sunday near his home on Samuel Drive. Neither the boy or the driver has been identified at this time. Again, authorities are investigating the accident. A Hudson woman has been charged with drunk driving after a 3-car accident in Auburn over the weekend. Police say Mary Kurgan's blood alcohol content was almost 3 times the legal limit. She's accused of causing a crash on Route 20 shortly before 4:30 p.m. on Saturday. She's also being charged with operating under the influence and negligent operation of a motor vehicle. Well, it was only a drill for first responders in central Massachusetts. Responding to a violent intruder situation could be a reality. The Auburn Fire Department organized an active shooter drill at the Auburn Mall Sunday night. With mall shootings happening across the country, law enforcement officers say it's important to be prepared. Our Olivia Lemon reports.
A drill at the Auburn Mall Sunday night shows the reality of shootings happening across the nation.
The reality is that any community that has a soft target, such as a mall, it's a target.
Auburn Fire Chief Stephen Coleman says the drill has been in the works for more than 2 months and is not in response to a fatal mall shooting in Washington State last week.
It certainly highlights the importance of drills like this, and there's certainly an eerie sense, when something like that happens.
Coleman says this full-scale exercise allows police, fire, EMS, and the SWAT team to test communication and response protocols.
Necessary EMS resources down there.
Sunday night scenario is a gunman in the mall after hours planning to rob K Jewelers. But the plan is changed when they realize the mall isn't empty. Gunshots are fired and 3 people go down.
1 additional stretcher and we can walk the other 2 wounded out.
Police arrive on scene, followed by the SWAT team and other first responders. Victims can be seen dragged out of the mall while responders look for the shooter.
We don't know how many suspects, we don't know how many victims. That's all part of this exercise. It's all part of this test to make sure that regardless of what's thrown at us, the responders are able to adapt.
For those playing the victims, it's a scary sign of the times.
It's a little freaky to think that that could actually happen to actual people. You see it on the news a lot, you don't actually get to experience it.
Meanwhile, Coleman says while it is a drill, it's important to remember it could also be a reality.
People not only need to know what to do in those situations, but your first responders, we need to have a plan and exercise that plan as well.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
Mall management says they maintain a close working relationship with local first responders and law enforcement to ensure the appropriate security measures are being taken to help provide a safe environment at the mall. Well, the state closing a bridge in Dudley today for structural deficiencies. The Carpenter Road Bridge located near the Connecticut border is closed indefinitely by the State Department of Transportation. The bridge connects Route 12 to New Boston Road. Residents are asked to seek an alternate route in that area. No word on how long the bridge will be closed for. Fallon Health is celebrating a record-breaking year for its annual golf tournament. The proceeds from today go to a very worthy cause, helping school children and families around Worcester. Our Andy Lacombe joins us from Worcester Country Club with the details.
Hello again from historic Worcester Country Club, site of Fallon Health's golf and gather for a cause, a very successful event raising money for food pantries and hunger relief programs across Massachusetts. More than $1.5 million already raised by this event over the years. And to tell us more about it and how it affects our programs locally, Kim Salmon, Director of Community Relations for Fallon Health, and the Superintendent of Schools here in the city of Worcester, Maureen Benenda. And Kim, if you could just start with us, tell us a little bit about how this impacts programs here in the Worcester area and just what does this money raised here do for the kids here in the area?
Definitely. Well, one of the wonderful things about this program for the past 11 years, we've really been able to have great impact. With this money, we're able to fund nearly 100 food pantries across the state. One of the local benefits that I think has the greatest impact is what we're able to do in the Worcester Public Schools. Maureen is here who can share with you how it truly impacts the students, but with the resources that we have, we're able to build pantries. We're able to keep pantries stocked throughout the school year, and this means such a difference to these students. They go home with a backpack filled with supplies, and they don't have to focus on anything but what they need to focus on in school, their education, put that first. So that's something we're pretty excited about.
And Superintendent Benenda, this really helps students succeed, right? Making sure that they are well fed and as they go into their school day and as they go home as well.
Of course, we all know if you feel hungry, you can't really concentrate on your work. And so what we really want to do is take all those barriers away for students that prevent them from doing the best they can. And one of the things that we can do is provide food. So the food pantries are really important. We started the first one 8 years ago at South High School, and now with the help of Fallon, some of those other schools now have food pantries. And this year, Fallon is actually going to open one up at Burncoat High School.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the time. And thank you again for another successful event here at Worcester Country Club, Fallon Health's Golf and Gather for a Cause. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Andy. And Charter TV3 was a media sponsor for today's